Hi, warm welcome to you all on day 2 of the Succeed trade show. My name is Holger Geisler from Marktforschung.de. I'm your moderator for the next 30 minutes. The topic on the following presentation is about real-time analysis of best-worst data types, or so-called MaxDiff. And we will hear a presentation from DataExpert. DataExpert is a market research operations provider based from Hungary. That means they are specialized in survey programming, hosting, in data processing, and data analytics, visualization, including graphical design. And I was quite impressed on the gallery that I saw on your stand in the exhibition. They do technology change support, process automation, custom IT development. So they are really specialized on the things that are not common in market research tools. So quite cool. We have 3 presenters today. We have Dr. Jeno Natsch. He's senior data processing expert for DataExpert. We have Professor Dr. Ákos Munich. He's director of the Institute of Psychology, head of the Department of Social and Work for the University of Debrecen. And we will begin with Tamás Andrassy. He is head of research operations department at DataExperts. They have DataExperts, just to give you a tip, they have a stand in the exhibition hall A2F. If you have any question, please use the chat function to post your questions. If there are questions, we will have a Q&A session at the end of the presentation. And well, Tamás, the stage is yours.
Thank you, Holger, for introducing us. Hello, everyone, and welcome to our session in this great online Succeed 21 event. As Holger mentioned, I'm Tamás, the head of Research Operations Department and DataExpert. Or am I actually not a human? Because on the internet, nobody knows you are a dog. You may have already heard this little joke before. How do you like my glasses, huh? I just bought them especially for this occasion. Of course, I'm kidding now, but the dog is not here by an accident, but for a relevant reason. What has a pet like this got to do with the real-time analysis? In today's presentation, we will show you our real-time solution for the best-worst data type using an entertaining questionnaire. Please write any question you have in the Q&A area at any time during our presentation. We will answer these in a roundtable discussion at the end of the presentation. And we will have a special guest for you at the end. But first question is, who is delivering our solution today? For that topic, we wanted to choose a presenter who has many years of experience in research, analysis, and applied mathematics. He could provide something really beneficial for you, I think. Let me hand over to our presenter today, who will also tell you more about our new method. This is not a picture of him, of course. Don't be scared, he doesn't bite. Welcome to one of our senior experts, Dr. Jeno Natsch.
Thank you, Tamás, for this introduction, and welcome all of you who joined us today's session. As a dog owner, I have a cute and beautiful beast at home. I like them dogs, and it's my pleasure to speak about dogs as an example for some technical solutions. We use dogs as a tool for testing or approach, and I will present you some basic ideas behind it. Don't worry, there won't be any mathematical equation in the presentation, but I recommend to stay at the very end of the presentation, because I will demonstrate a live experience to you to show all of these things. And let's begin our journey. Our world is continuously changing, which is also true for the available technical novelties. Best-worst scaling, commonly referred to maximum difference, or with a shorter term, MaxDiff, is the simplest way of measuring preferences. During this measurement, we can record which item from a set of alternatives. These alternatives can be any kind of brands or products, services. It depends on the interest that we would like to test. So from this set of alternatives, we select the best case and the worst case. And this is an old method, and therefore we can ask some simple questions. Can we apply new analysis for these data types? Can we detect an increasing need for such a new alternative? Or can we do all of these in real time? And the answer to all of these questions is yes, and yes, and yes. 3 yeses. But this is the very beginning of our story. What are the alternatives that we could consider? The commonly used methods, such as the hierarchical Bayes models, are based on specific statistical assumptions, but we would like to find a quicker possibility that more likely correspond to the people's behavior. In our approach, we focused on the behavior assumption of these data types. As in many aspects of life, we also have some difficulties here. Although the previously used models are well developed, they have some weaknesses because, for example, a large sample size is required, which means that the entire fieldwork should be finished before starting the analysis. Consequently, they are slow. We need to wait days or weeks to get the final results, and sometimes they can produce misleading estimations. I will show you some cases that we can detect some discrepancies between the estimated values. So just like newborn puppies exploring the world around them, we have to deal with all of these things. For real-time evaluation, we need a fast calculation. Therefore, we use the network-based approach, which is a simpler algorithm compared to, for example, the hierarchical Bayes models. And based on these, we are able to design dynamic and adaptive surveys in real time. The key is the real-time part. But before we move on to this exciting topic, let's see the idea behind it. So here's the mathematics. Graphs can be the representation of choices. In this figure, you can see gray dots or circles that represent the vertex, and between them there are different arrows pointing to each of the vertex. These are the mapping of preferences. The vertices correspond to the alternatives, brands, products, or any kind of services. In a MaxDiff exercise, by the directed edges, the arrows, are the preference links. An arrow is pointing to a vertex if that vertex is preferred over the starting vertex. And we can count the in and out degrees at each vertex and can estimate the probability of visiting the vertex. These are the red circles around these vertices. Any of the vertices can be a starting point when the estimation begins, and if there's no direct connection to that vertex, the algorithm jumps to an alternative vertex, any vertex randomly. This small example here shows the basic idea in more detail. Starting from the top of the figure where vertex 1 present, we can reach vertex 2, 3, or 4 at a given probability, and we can go either vertex 5, 6, or 7 depending on which path we choose. These probabilities are all equal because we have only one way to reach all these vertices. You can check the numbers in the tables below. But if we introduce a new link from vertex 2 to vertex 7, we have an extra opportunity to reach vertex 7, and therefore the probability will increase. If you compare the red numbers in the tables, you can see these changes. This is the key point in this network-based approach, but how does it perform? So we checked in a freely available technology dataset where we can get data about 10 leading technology brands numbered in the table as brand 1 to 10, and we calculated the individual level preference probabilities applying the hierarchical Bayes method and or network-based solution. If you take a closer look at brand 2, 3, and 4, highlighted here in red, we can see large differences in their values estimated by the hierarchical Bayes method in the left column compared to the network-based approach in the right column. To explain these differences, let's take a look at the upper right table, which shows the design of the MaxDiff test. In this table, each row contains a set of options from 1 to 5, which numbers refer to the brands. So we have different combinations of the 10 technology brands in each of these rows. The plus sign denotes the brand selected as best, whilst the minus sign corresponds to the brand selected as worst. The respondents receive 6 cards. These are 6 questions that they have to answer, and they had to choose one best and one worst brand from each of the 5. And here is the first row. We can see that brand 3 was selected as worst against brand 2 and 4. You can see the minus sign, but brand 1 was the best, which was also preferred over brand 2 and 4. But in the last row to comparison, where brand 1 was also present, brand 3 was selected as the best. So in summary, on the one hand, we have an ordering of brand 1, brand 2 and 4, and lastly brand 3. But on the other hand, brand 3 was also better as brand 1. So it seems that these complex links are more accurately considered in our network-based estimation, and you can check the graph here with the preference probabilities indicated by the red circles. And in another case where the same design was shown for the respondent, so they got the same questions and had to choose again the best and the worst cases, we can detect some unexpected estimations among the HB hierarchical base values in the left column again. Brand 1 and 6 have almost the same values. However, brand 1 selected as best against brand 6 in the last row in the upper right table. You can see with purple. Moreover, brand 2 and 3 have very different values, several times higher, but these differences are unexpected because they were not chosen as best nor as worst in any of the rows. You can check the red rectangle in the upper table. Next to brand 2 and 3, there are no any minus or plus sign, so these were not chosen in any of the questions. These discrepancies are the result of estimations based on a large sample, a global sample, and the gaps for the individual preference probabilities are estimated based on the other preferences of different respondents. However, a network-based approach can handle and correct these at an individual level, as it can be seen on the graph as well. You can check these preference probabilities again. And for comparison, here's the two cases together. The green circles highlight the difference between the hierarchical base approach in the above line, the above two figures, and the network-based estimation in the below line. These are just two cases showing many differences which are notable as stands for themselves, but we can ask the question that if there is so many differences in the answers of two respondents, how many differences can be detected in total in the large sample? And considering these significant differences, we developed an idea of how to make the estimation more accurately. What would happen if we ask an extra question containing the top preferences of each of the respondents? And to achieve this goal, we developed our own MaxDiff solution called .MaxDiff. This letter stands for dynamic because we are able to modify the survey during the same session, during the active live interview. Adaptive because these changes are based on the answers of each of the respondents. And real time because the calculations are preferred perform quickly in the background, and I will show you within a minute. And let me bring this dynamic and adaptive solution to life and showing exactly how this works in real time. I will do that following some simple steps in this demonstration. Let's complete the survey that we developed for this testing of this new solution. Retrieve the data, process the data using R in the background. It will so quick, and enjoy a dashboard. Now I'm switching to the survey that we developed. A quick refresh to wake up the session. And here we have some demographic questions. At the very beginning of the survey, we can indicate the gender, the owned dog or cat or whatever pet at home, and the age group. And after that, we have programmed a classical MaxDiff design. We have 15 alternatives, 15 dog breeds, and each of the 8 screens that appear, I had to choose the best and the worst for dogs, the most preferred and least preferred dog breeds. I will go through all of these questions. I will choose these dog breeds randomly almost, but in reality, our brain scans these images very quickly, and in our mind we consider the seen pictures, the coat, the color, the size or body shape of each of the dog breeds, and we quickly make some associations because, for example, the body size can determine how many food this dog needs, or any other different associations we can make during this simple exercise. And now we have a quick calculation. It's so quick, takes a few seconds only. And after this calculation, we have the opportunity to ask targeted or direct questions based on my answers. And here's the top 5 dog breed, the top 5 preferred dog breeds. And we can ask an ESSO question. I have to choose the best amongst the best and the worst amongst the best. But alternatively, we can ask any kind of questions, open-ended questions or more targeted questions. And after this, we have again a quick calculation to compute prone to answers, and we will redirect it immediately into an online dashboard. This online dashboard can show the answers of each of the respondents and the summary of the preferences. So we can see within a few seconds that the already recorded answers show the top preferences among these 15 dog breeds. If I select a dog breed, it is highlighted among the bars as well. And we can play around some filterings. For example, if we would like to know the differences between the genders, are there any differences among females and males? You can see the changes in the bars and the ordering of the dog breeds as well. Or we can check, let's say, the effect of different own pets. If respondents own dogs or cats, you can see some of the differences in the bars and the pictures, or any other kind of pet. This is a more substantial difference here. And of course, we can check some of the individual preference probabilities. And I choose this person because it has a very significant difference. I mean that the light green bars show the classical MaxDiff probabilities. However, the dark green bars show the combined results with the extra question, and you can see that the original ordering can be improved by this extra question, and we have a more accurate preference for these question and for these dog breeds. And now I'm switching back to the presentation, because we also evaluated our results and found other significant differences between the two rounds. Here is a striking illustration for comparing the results. We applied a cluster analysis to the estimated preference probabilities of round 1, the classical MaxDiff design in the left-hand side, and round 2 with the combined results. The colors and the branch thicknesses of these dendrograms clearly show the major differences in the detected groups. You can check the purple, blue, and green colors and these groups because they are substantially different after asking that extra question. And in general, different marketing decisions can be derived from these improved results, and we recommend to use a proposed solution. But getting closer to the end of this session, I would like to sum up today's lecture. The commonly used analytical tools for best first data have several limitations, as we saw in those cases for the hierarchical-based estimations, and we are facing an increasing need for a state-of-the-art solution that opens new opportunities. We can ask more targeted questions. The questionnaire, the survey can be shortened, and we use the network-based approach to fulfill these requirements and designed an adaptive survey integrating real-time estimations. You were able to see that it is so quick. And our approach can improve the results and can provide more accurate support for decision making.
Okay, thank you, Jenő. Don't go away as we are staying for our Q&A session, of course. And let me welcome our special guest, Ákos. Okay, guys, let's start, I think, with our first question. What is the role of the real-time solution for market research companies? Jenő, please.
Thank you for this question. This is something that is the main message of our presentation. As we saw in this presentation, enable improve the quality of the data by asking additional questions for the top preferences. The decision can change considerably, and based on more accurate results, the calculations are quicker, and the decision makers can get results immediately, as it can be seen in the online dashboard.
Thank you for answering this. My second question is to Ákos. So what's the future directions are possible regarding the real-time data collection and analysis? What do you think about that?
Yeah, I think it's almost obvious that we like everything to get real-time. And of course, the data and the results should always get real-time. Nevertheless, of course, we should exploit the opportunities of the approach Jenő told us. And I think we can change the sort of batch type research to real-time, and starting from the planning, the research, and ending with a dashboard, and everything should be done in real time. I think it's a good perspective. And of course, you can put more mathematical analysis in real time. For example, segmentation of the population, which is a very basic target of market research. And you can do it, for example, as some kind of neural network models. And we are working on that, and I think soon we can present some new results about that also.
Thank you. Thank you for answering that one. And third one question is to Jenő, that what are the technical and cost requirements for that solution?
This is a tricky question, but thank you for this. Technically, if we have a server in-house, we can host all of the applications that is needed for this solution. But it depends on the complexity of the task. And as Ákos mentioned, if we would like to include more analytical tools into, like segmentation, into this into the project, if we need some more background, or we need to rent some environment to do this, we need to calculate with different costs, but in one hand it can be cheap, but in other hand it depends on the complexity of the project.
Okay, thank you. And the last question is to Jenő, that you showed the result of some cluster analysis. Did you use other measurements for evaluating your results?
Yes, if you have some sharp eye, you may spot that there were an extra figure, extra bar chart on the online dashboard that shows the time spent on each of the questions, each of the MaxDiff questions. And we calculated the differences for each of the questions, how much time needed to answer it, and we found, according to our expectations, that the extra question required more time to answer, because in our brain we need to focus something of the top preferences, so choose the best out of the best, and this is a more complex task, and it seems that this can be a good evaluation or validation of our results, because we had to think more about a more complex thing, and otherwise we compared with the hierarchy-based approach, and the estimations show high correlation. So, or a network-based solution is something that can replace the classical models, because we can do it in real time faster, and you can get quicker results in a shorter time.
There is one more question coming from the audience. Is it correct to say that the Dart solution is more resilient to inattentive respondents? That's maybe a question to all, to Tamás and Jenő.
I think the answer is yes. It's very easy. We can say that it's very much focused on the respondent, and the statistical models are not necessary. We use behavioral models for it, and I think it's the question for the answer for the question is yes.
Yes. Okay, it is. Okay. Do you have any more questions, Tamás, from your side?
No, I think this time we should thank you to Jenő and also to Ákos.
It was my pleasure.
Thank you.
Okay, then thank you, all the three of you. I can highly recommend that you visit the stand DataExperts, because this is only one topic, and I saw already that they have a lot of other special topics, a lot of methodology for. So if you're interested in the high statistics, then make a visit. DataExperts later, and you will visit Tamás and Jenő and Ákos there. Okay, see you soon, and thank all of you. Bye bye.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.